Hello and welcome to Bonvoyagehunger. Today we'll be working on a fusion dessert, Gulab Jamun Cheesecake jars. I had made this amazing fusion dessert for my Diwali party and it was a hit. I will be using Gits Gulab Jamun mix to make the Gulab Jamuns. You have to just follow the process exactly as given on the back of the packet. Let's start making the sugar syrup first. Take water in a thick bottom pan, add sugar to it and mix it well. We have to cook the syrup on the medium flame. Add cardamom powder to this and saffron strands. Turn on the heat and cook the syrup on the medium flame. We have to keep stirring in between to check the consistency and make sure that the sugar syrup does not crystallize. Our sugar syrup has been simmering for a few minutes. Let's turn off the heat and keep it aside. Let's begin the process of making jamuns. Let's keep the ghee for heating before we start making jamuns. Start adding milk a very little at a time and make sure it is completely incorporated in the gulab jamun mix. Keep mixing it and kneading the dough. Keep adding little milk at a time so that we know when to stop. We have to knead a very soft dough. As we add milk, the mixture is going to become a little sticky, but don't worry, this will give extra softness and sponginess to your gulab jamuns. I think this is a good consistency. We will start rolling the gulab jamuns now. So we need a little bit of ghee to rub between our palms to make sure that the gulab jamuns are soft and we are able to create the balls which are crack free. Having crack free balls are very important for this process. And also keep a wet tea towel ready so that as you're rolling the jamuns and you're keeping it in a tray, you have to keep covering it. If you leave it open and if you do not cover it, again it will become dry and the cracks will develop on the balls, and we are not looking for that. Slowly roll the balls of the desired size. Once the balls are rolled, we will start frying the gulab jamuns now. Make sure that you're keeping the heat from low to medium flame for frying the gulab jamuns. Otherwise, it will become brown on the outside, but it will still not be cooked inside. Keep stirring the gulab jamuns for the even coloring. And make sure that the extra gulab jamuns are always kept covered with the wet tea towel. Look at that beautiful color of the jamuns. The jamuns are fried now. We will take them out on a paper towel to absorb the excess ghee. Fry all the gulab jamuns and keep them aside. Once all the gulab jamuns are ready, we need to add them to the sugar syrup. Make sure that the sugar syrup is warm while adding the jamuns. Give it a little stir to coat the jamuns and let it rest in the syrup for at least 1 hour. After 1 hour, the gulab jamuns have absorbed the sugar syrup and they are ready. Let us go to the next step and begin the process of making cheesecake. I like to use digestive biscuits for the base of my cheesecake as it does not have any strong flavors. Add the biscuits to the food processor and make a semi-coarse powder of this biscuit. Do not make the powder very fine, otherwise your base will become very hard, which we don't want. Add the biscuit in a bowl and then add melted butter to the biscuit crumbs and make sure that all the biscuit crumbs are coated in butter. Once the biscuit crumbs are ready, we will start doing the plating for the same. Add the biscuit crumbs to the jar which you want to use and gently press it down to make a layer of the biscuit. You can get all your jars ready with the biscuit base at this stage. The biscuit base is ready now. We will start the preparation for making the cream cheese mixture. I am using my stand mixture for this process, but you can also use your hand mixture or a hand beater. Add the cream cheese and the sugar in the bowl and start whisking it gently. Cream cheese should be at the room temperature for this process. This will ensure that it mixes with the other ingredients properly. My cream cheese is not at the room temperature today, so it is going to stick to my whisk initially and I will have to scrape it off the whisk and again start mixing it. But eventually as it mixes further, it will come to the room temperature because of the whisking. Start whisking again. See, slowly my cream cheese is becoming soft. I'm again going to scrape off the bowl and my whisk. And I will start mixing it again to make sure that sugar and cream cheese mixes properly. Cream cheese has become soft. At this stage, add rose water. So I am adding 3 teaspoons of rose water because my rose water is strong in flavor, and even in 3 teaspoons I can get a very good fragrance and flavor of this. You can increase or decrease the quantity based on the strength of your rose water. Cream cheese and sugar are incorporated. Let's keep this aside and start working on our whipping cream. So we are going to whip the cream until it comes to the stiff peak consistency. If you see this, now it has reached the soft peaks. We need to beat it a little more to get to stiff peaks. Our cream is whipped now. This is the correct consistency where it is holding the peaks. We'll take our cream cheese mixture which we had kept aside, and now we are going to add edible rose petals to this mixture. Once that is mixed, let's start folding in our whipped cream. Do this very gently. Do not overmix the cream, otherwise it will lose the fluffiness. To make sure everything is properly mixed, I'm just going to quickly whisk it for a few seconds. And the delicious cheesecake batter is ready. So to continue our plating process, we are going to get the jars which we had got ready earlier, and I have taken the gulab jamuns out of the syrup and kept it aside. I'm using an ice cream scoop to add my cheesecake batter on the biscuit base. You can also do this with the help of a piping bag if your jars are small, but my jars are big, so I think using an ice cream scoop is a good idea. Tap it down to make sure that you're leveling the cheesecake. Take a gulab jamun and press it in the center of the cheesecake, and then garnish it with rose petal and the chopped pistachios kept aside. After the jars are ready, we are going to keep it in the refrigerator overnight to set. If you do not have time to set it overnight, we need to at least keep it in the refrigerator for 5 to 6 hours for a good texture. For the amount of cream cheese I have used and my jar size, I am getting 17 cheesecake jars. In case you're using the smaller jars, then ensure that you reduce the size of your gulab jamuns. These layers are looking so tempting, I want to eat it right away. Try this amazing recipe and let me know in the comments how you like it. Subscribe to my channel to get notification for my latest recipes. Thank you for joining me on this journey.